What do you say, everybody? And roll tide. Welcome to the Bama Tailgate Show. We're brought to you by Pearl River Resort right there in Philadelphia, Mississippi. The Azaleas, the Oaks, two amazing golf courses at Dancing Rabbit. Jake Coker and I are going to be there next week. We got a lot of fun stuff on tap for you today. We're going to talk about Bama first scrimmage. We're going to talk a little quarterbacks. We're going to get Shank's opinion on Geno VanDeMark, his ability to be a Swiss Army knife on the offensive line. Some of the things we've learned so far through practice, where we are right now, what this team's all about. And we're going to do it right after this very important open that you guys love. Let's go. All right, what do you say, everybody? Shank and Mick with you today on the show, and it's great to see everyone. Thank you for all the great comments. It's been fun as you guys have gotten to know our show. You know, it's been fun, man. A lot of good comments, Shank. Some bad comments. I ignore those, though, man. I ignore them.
You know, man, we don't put a rule in place, man. If it's not nice and you want to say it to our face, don't post it. Like.
Come in person.
That's how we coming, man. That's how we coming. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's been fun for us. I've enjoyed it. And, I can't wait to just go through the season with you and keep talking about this Bama team. And
absolutely,
we're getting them ready right now. We're going to talk about Geno VanDeMark a little later on. I want to get your opinion on the offensive lineman and kind of being that guy that can do a lot of different things for Alabama. But let's just kind of get back into the conversation of things that we're learning about this team through practice and, and kind of what we have on the field. And I say the first thing I want to talk about is the defensive backs. You know, you keep hearing about how good this defensive back room is, right? And I'm talking about Dylan Lee and Chuck McDonald and Ivan Taylor, Bray Hubbard. You know, you got Mo Lindquist out there kind of coaching these guys up. Keon Sabb, part of the crew. You know, this could be the strongest group that Alabama has on the field.
And that's saying a mouthful there, man.
Yeah,
because I think that receiving core is elite. We got our boy Lawson coming back, so that linebacker core is going to be pretty nice. And so to say the DBs are going to be one of the best groups on the field, that's a mouthful, man, because when you think about traditionally and how good Bama has been with their defensive backs, man, you obviously always go back to the 2015 team and then 16, even 14, dog. Like, we just always had a dominant defense and we always had really good DBs on the back end. Your Minka Fitzpatricks, your Eddie Jacksons, you can go back even further, your Vinny Sensoris. We just always have been stacked in that defensive backfield. So to hear that we are possibly getting back to that, that's big time, especially after losing Caleb Downs.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That hurt us a bit. That hurt us a bit because he was absolutely a special player. And he did a lot of things, and I don't think people realize that. But to be in a spot now that where we can come into this season and kind of and that DB core has been revamped, man, that's scary for anybody playing against us. Because I think that defense started to click in the back half of the season last year, right?
Yeah.
And they get another year in Kane's system, and they're more comfortable in the system now, man. And so my thing with defensive backs and being comfortable in your system, that breeds playmaking.
Yeah.
Guys are more likely to take risks. Guys are not as likely to be fearful of messing up because they're comfortable in their system now. They know the ins and outs. They've gotten numerous reps at it, and so now they're at a point where they just get to be ball players again, man, and attack the ball and play aggressive. So I'm excited about that.
Damani Jackson, I think he has the potential to be a high draft pick. He's a lockdown guy over there at corners. Abian Brown, what a great season he had last year. Talked about Sab and Bray Hubbard. Deshaun Jones, second year at Alabama. Zay, Bam Bam Mincy, love that guy. Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., Cam Howard. I mean, and then we talked about a lot of the new guys that came in with talent. So it's like talent on top of talent on top of talent. And the funny thing to me is when you mentioned Caleb Downs, when he left and the rest of those guys left and they went to all of our rivals, and it felt like when Saban retired that the sky was falling, that this group was built back that fast. And I think part of this is the way that college football is now, right? You don't have to wait 10 years to get a group together. I mean, with the transfer portal, and some of those guys are transfers, and then recruiting, and a lot of those guys are recruits and development, and they've done a great job of developing. It gives you a sense of, hey, we really have something big here, and that's a foundation that this team can be built around. The way that teams throw the ball these days, I think it's good to have a secondary that can basically go out there and ball hog.
Oh no, without a doubt, without a doubt. I mean, if you're gonna build a defense, I think you gotta start D line first and secondary right after that, right? And I say that just because I'm a huge believer in that good teams can run the football very well. And so to combat that, you have to have a D line that can stand up to that ground and pound um, throughout 4 quarters. And you have to have guys on that back end when they once we stalemate the run and they decide to try the passing game, it's time for those DBs to step up. And I think we've built that, man. I'm really confident in our defense coming to year 2 under Womack, man. And just as much as we talked about the offense and their consistency and execution, like I said last year, man, the back half of that season, that defense was executing on a high level. Like we were getting after people. I don't think our struggles were defensively at all on the back half of that season last year.
Right.
Because I feel like we had enough stops and we had enough big time stops, even when we were put in bad situations, on defense. Offense turned the ball over, gives us a short field, and they always found a way to get out of bad spots. And so I think if they continue to do what they were doing, build on that the back half of the season last year, and offense picks it up going into this year, we're gonna be a scary team, man. We're gonna be a
Yeah,
scary team.
I agree. And I think that's, I think we're a scary team right now, and going into this season. I mean, they're saying all the right things, and that's important, but then you got to do the right things, and you got to hold each other accountable. The days of having Saban are over. I mean, look, Florida State quarterback made that clear, but that doesn't mean that Alabama's going to be any different than it was. Look, Alabama's been winning football games before Saban was born.
Absolutely.
Right? They were winning championships when his grandparents were kids.
Right.
I mean, it's not like this is a 1-year thing. I mean, this is the reason that Alabama has won more championships than any other school. And I think it's like a lot of entire conferences combined, is because there's been a long-standing commitment to be the best. And this staff's trying to figure that out. And it's going to be, I think, really important. And I'm going to transition to the quarterback battle for the quarterback, who really is the face of the team, to buy into that commitment. And I feel like Ty Simpson is doing that. But it feels like Keelan Russell is doing everything he needs to do right now to be ready if that opportunity would arise, because this guy's talent is just off the charts.
Right.
And his desire to win is really high too.
Man, that's what we need at that quarterback spot, man. Because you look at any of those national championship teams, we had leaders of men in that QB spot. We had guys that weren't fearful of anything, and that would step up to anybody to get their point across. And I think we need that on this team more than ever, man. We need the QB to step up and kind of be the ringleader of the offense and get things going. Just because if you don't have a leader, guys are just kind of wandering about. They don't know their goal, don't know the aim, right? And so if Todd's not able to come in and command that offensive huddle the way we think he should be able to at this point in his career, right? We're gonna lean on a young fella. We're gonna see what Keelan Russell can do.
Yeah.
And because especially after the way we performed last year, man, I don't think anybody's gonna wait around to see if an experiment is gonna succeed or not, right? You know,
Yeah.
we want to get right to the point, and that's winning ball games. And if we're not able to do that with Todd, which I am a firm believer that we will be able to, you know, like I said last time, Keelan's gonna get reps early on. He's gonna get reps early on. I just don't hope. I hope it don't turn into like we're in game 4 and still trying to figure out our QB situation though.
Yeah. We don't need that.
Yeah, like I want no parts of that, man. Like by game 4, I feel like we should have a firm grasp on what our identity is as a team, especially as an offense, because we struggled enough last year. We
Yeah.
we struggled enough offensively last year, man. And so that grace and excuses that they were able to get away with last year, I don't think myself or any other fans included are going to be as merciful this year, right?
Yeah.
And so we don't have time to play the experiment game, man. We
Mm-mm.
only won 9 games last year. Everybody's down us right now, so this has to be a statement year for us, and it starts at the QB position in my book.
Yeah. I agree with everything you said. I mean, that's exactly it. And right now, Ty Simpson's the only guy that's not taking third team reps, right? So it's
Right,
Keelan and Austin Mack. Um, and Ty Simpson, I mean, that this is why you want a guy to stick around. It's why you're glad a guy didn't transfer. He comes in with the experience. He was a 5-star guy too, and he was a guy that was highly sought after. But you know, Bama should have a chip on their shoulder. You know, and I know some years, and for a long time there was a bullseye on Alabama's back. That's a different thing. Now it should be you got a chip on your shoulder, because you're right. There's a lot of doubters out there. You know, you just because you put that uniform on doesn't necessarily mean that you understand what it took to get to that status, right?
right,
You got to go out there and maintain that status, and that's what these guys are going to try to do. And it always starts with leadership, you know, and the leadership is always starts with the head coach, and then that it comes down from there, and it feels like Kalen DeBoer has done a good job of figuring out all the rest of it, right? But the discipline and handling success, you know, they're two things that we're going to see. I'm not hearing stories about the ice cream truck at practice this year. You know,
why,
not that I
why?
have a problem with that, but you know, like,
We had an ice cream truck at practice, dog.
yeah, not hearing that, right? Not
Yeah,
hearing
we
the
losing recipes, man. We can't do that. It just because we came up in the era, man. We were cutthroat. Wasn't no music at practice. Wasn't none of horse playing, all the BS and going on, man. Like I feel like our team, dog. It's just like when we stepped on the field, it was time to work. It's just like, all right, we clocked in now. Like everybody, like we
Mhm.
working. And I feel like guys will get after you if they see you, you know what I'm saying, slow poking it or just taking plays off. Man, and so we really weren't into the whole music thing. We weren't having ice cream trucks after practice. I will say though, Miss Amy took care of us after practice, man.
Right.
Like we had great food catered. You know what I'm saying? We had treats and all that stuff, but we weren't bringing no ice cream trucks out, dog. It's a
It's just
different
the look
feel.
of it. It's the look of it. It's the perception of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get it. Look, when you're at Fresno State and you're in Indiana and you're at Washington, like those you're trying to build something, right?
Right.
You step in at Alabama, all you're trying to do is fly the plane, right? Like don't recreate. You're not trying to recreate, put extra things on. No, you're already on the best plane there is. Just fly it,
Right.
right?
Right.
And I feel like DeBoer, I like DeBoer, and you know that, and you do too.
Yeah.
But it's coming from somewhere that you don't understand this culture. It takes a while to get there. When Brett asked him had he ever been to Waffle House, and Big Sexy told him what to order, I'm thinking like, man, you know, you haven't been here very long, you know.
Right.
I mean, it's a small thing, but it was one of those moments where I'm like, man, I wonder if this guy's really going to be here for a while, like it was
Right.
like he
Right.
said something like, yeah, I'll have to try it before we before we leave or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, if that's the plan, then let's get focused and no more ice cream trucks, right? No, I don't
Right.
care about that. All right. One other thing I want to ask you about on today's show is I talked about Barrett Jones on here. I think I said Wesley Britt, but I meant Barrett Jones on our show a couple times ago. You guys all corrected me, and you were exactly right. As far as being an offensive lineman that could do a lot of different things
Mm-hmm.
on the offensive line. And Geno VanDeMark has spent time at 3 different positions this year, right? Left guard. He was fighting it out with Cam Dewberry. Then the center spot, right? You got to have somebody to back up Parker Brailsford, who's amazing, but he might get hurt. And then right guard, and he's been with the first group there. So this is a guy who transferred from Michigan State. He's had experience. He's someone that, on this line, you love these guys that can do a little bit of everything.
Right. No, absolutely, man. And guys like that are the guys that get paid. And it might catch some people off guard when those type of guys get drafted, man. But as an offensive lineman, being able to play more than one position, that's that's priceless. That's invaluable. Like you can't put a price tag on it. And because now, instead of just talking about 5 guys you can put on the field, now you got a 6-man. Now you got a swing guy that in case if anybody goes down, you know for a fact that you have a starting caliber person that you can put in the game and there will be no drop off. And so I hope he continues to swing from position to position because he's only earning himself money, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's only earning himself more reps. And I hope he keeps pushing those guys. But I love it. I like being versatile enough to be able to go be a signal caller at center and then take a step to your right or left and play one of those guard spots. You that's a blessing to any offensive line coach, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a guy you can depend on
Right.
when it all hits the fan and injuries start to pile up late in the season, right? Or some freak accident happen. You're not on the sideline freaking out because you're like, all right, we got our guy. Let's get him in there and let him loose, right? And you're not worried about it. So I think what he's doing, man, is amazing, and I hope he continues it, and because he's only improving his case on why he needs to be on the field.
Yeah. Great point.
Because he's smart to be able, and that's what a lot of people don't realize.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line is hard as hell to play. It's
Yeah.
hard enough to be good at one spot on the offensive line. So when you're able to be good at multiple spots, man, that's not a normal thing. Every O lineman can't do that. Like some guys can't flip that footwork from being on the left side and going to the right side. And some guys don't have the mental processing to go from being a guard to now I'm at center. I'm identifying the mic. I'm calling out our combinations. I'm getting everybody on one accord. That's not an easy thing to do. And so for him to have that ability and able to do that, especially at such a high level, being at Bama, man, I wish nothing but the best for the kid. And I hope he gets his shot to get on that field.
Yeah. Great points. Great points. Well, we'll be watching scrimmage coming up. We'll be covering that. You and I, we're going to try to be back again tomorrow. So we're giving you guys a lot of Bama coverage right now as we get ready for the football season, which I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Like the countdown is here. Like it's we're going to have football coming up in a couple weeks with like that. We had preseason. I watched the Ravens beat the Colts yesterday in the NFL, which was a great thing. And then now all of a sudden, we got Bama and Florida State coming up in the first annual Coker Bowl.
Damn, I didn't even think about that. I wonder who Jake rooting for.
He said Bama.
I mean, that was a rhetorical question. There's only one right answer. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, man, you only started and won a championship with one of those teams, dog.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
your allegiance is with us.
He needs to
forever.
wear both ring sets, though. Imagine that. That'd be so cool. Hey,
Man.
guys, take advantage of our promo code at throw it up here at newlifeart.com. Bama Tailgate, 20% off. I got my 92 national championship print right here on the wall. You guys want to pimp out your man cave, make your office look great, your dorm room, wherever you guys might be getting the Daniel Moore for. Take advantage of it. 20% off at checkout using our promo code Bama Tailgate. And then last and definitely not least is we are presented every show by Pearl River Resort right there in Philadelphia, Mississippi. The Azaleas, the Oaks, 2 amazing golf courses, the Timeout Sports Lounge, which is actually in Golden Moon Casino. And you just swing in Golden Moon, and you can bet just like you're in Vegas. Bet on Bama. You think Bama's going to run the table? You think Bama's going all the way? Go and do it there. 20 big screen TVs, full-size bar, great place to hang out. The kiosk, you got the window, all of that at Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Shank, anything else before we go?
Oh, man. Just want to say rest in peace to my grandma. I lost my grandma yesterday. She basically raised me, man. Both my grandmas raised me. And that was the last one I had, man. You know, on my blood side anyway, you know, and just rest in peace to her. Send prayers to the family, man, and we're going to keep it pushing and roll tide always.
Roll Tide, man. Condolences to you and your entire family right now.
Thank you.
As you guys work through this. So I know it's tough. All right, guys, thanks for hanging with us, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Roll Tide.
To Pearl River Resort.